Hi, Jamie, and everyone who's found my YouTube channel. Welcome back to another episode. I'm so excited because today I have another guest. I know. But before we get into that, first and foremost, if you're coming back, thank you so much for joining me again. If you're new here, just stay with me. You're going to love the content if it's something that you can relate to. So, my name is Tracy Huison. I've recently started my YouTube channel and I share parts of my life. And in doing so, I hope it's something that fills your cup. I hope that it brings you joy or just something that you can resonate with. So I'm so excited for today's guest. It's my dad's brother, my uncle, my favorite uncle. But he's a pastor, and we got to talking. We always talk a lot. And over the past week, we were sharing stuff like love versus affection. And I was like, oh my God, I never really thought about this, right? So what happens is we get into this discussion, and it's things we don't really think about. And I was just like, is there even a difference between like love versus affection? And we all know. You've seen the movies where people are like, you know what, they fall out of love. I know if you can relate, like in your relationships or your marriages, there's times where you like, me and my partner, we're just not feeling each other right now. And so we got into this whole conversation. And I was like, this could be a good topic, especially from someone who is a professional in this field, I suppose, for lack of better words. And so I put together something really nice. So we're going to do like a little interview him, get his thoughts around it, because I think it's something that is so good to talk about. Just what does love really mean biblically? What does it mean when you choose something? Like, I don't believe in soulmates, right? I believe that there's a guide God gives us on how to choose your partner. And then once you've made the decision, like, there you go. You love this person, flaws and all. And I spoke about in another episode where love just really never fails. And then you go into what does that really mean, you know? So today we're going to get into like love versus affection and see where that leads us. So I'm very excited to introduce you to him and have like a little interview, because the last time I did an interview or had people on my channel was my husband's mom and dad for their anniversary. So I'm super excited. So stay here because I'm going to move to my normal area. Okay, guys, so excited to meet my Uncle Tony. We call him Uncle T. Uncle T, thanks for being here.
Well, it's good to be with you. First, imagine.
I know. So I've telling my uncle how this works. We're gonna like record, have fun with it, but he's a natural. He's been speaking for like a number of months of years. He's gonna tell you. So I just want him to tell us a little bit about what he's been doing for his life, so you can have some of sort of trust in this interview or this conversation we're about to have. So Uncle T, just tell us a little bit about your career.
All right. Okay. So actually, I was a youth pastor. I started out in full-time ministry in 2000. Was a youth pastor. Youth and music really was my thing back in the day. And then, of
Wait, Uncle
course,
T, wait. Just tell the viewers before you got into that. Weren't you gonna study accounting?
true,
Yes.
true, true,
Let's
true.
let's start. So this is an accountant. I mean, mindfully,
Okay.
mentally.
So I when I finished matric, then I thought, okay, I'm gonna be an accountant. And so you go and you start studying part-time, studying BCom. But then, of course, you're busy in the church, and I started really feeling that I'm not entirely passionate about, say, numbers or whatever, and I loved the Lord's work. And so then the Lord called me. And so that's how I ended up actually going full time in ministry, and graduated in 99, been full time since 2000. So it's been a long time, it's 26 years. Now, of course, I started off as a youth pastor in music for the first few years, and it's been a long time. And so, for the last, say, 13 years, I've been full time as a senior pastor. And yes, and of course, over the years, you learn new things, but you also unlearn other
Yeah.
things. Whatever your beliefs are, for example, you're going to find that as you go through life, sometimes you have to be humble enough to say that certain things I used to believe, not so much anymore. But of course, now you say, okay, I think I understand it better
So
now.
we're gonna get into that today. I'm so excited. So I've put a series of questions together for my uncle, and he's gonna answer them best he can. And I'm hoping that you guys get on here, ask me other questions, because he's gonna come back and we can interview him more. Because I think as a girly girl, we're gonna love hearing not only from a man of God, but from a man. Because we tend to think they don't understand, but it might change our perspective when we have someone talking to us that's not a girl. You know what I mean? So okay, you're gonna get nervous for the questions.
Mhm.
So the first question I'm gonna read it, so I don't want to get it wrong. We're gonna ask, what would you say um, when you look at love versus affection? What does it actually mean?
Well, I think we've all grown up, and even for myself, we've grown up with this idea that love and affection, they're exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that anymore, because as I've studied the scriptures, as I've thought about whether it be in marriage or just relationships, romantic relationships, so on, I started understanding, especially the concept of love from a biblical perspective. And so when I think about love and affection, they're the same thing, but they're also not exactly the same thing.
Okay.
And because love itself, even though love, which is the Greek word agape, even though it's a noun, love is actually expressed as a verb. So when you think about love, it's actually something to do with the will. It's a commitment. It's a choice. It's not based on sentiment.
Are you saying it's like a doing word?
Exactly.
Okay.
Love is more of a doing word than it's a feeling. It's a sacrificial love. It's the thing that says, I don't love because I feel. I love because I choose to love. There's two different things.
Yeah.
Sometimes we think, okay, I feel a certain way, so now I'm in love. But I'm saying, no, love is love, because love is more of an action than it's a feeling. And I think that's where we often go wrong. And over the years, kind of that's what we've been taught, that we think it's the same thing. And when we think it's the same thing, it's easy to think, for example, as as we've spoken, that, oh, I'm not in love anymore. As I said, love is, it's an action, but love it's a choice, because it's a verb. Well, put it this way, it's expressed as a verb, as I just said. And what will make it easier for us to understand is when we think about love, kind of like in four different ways. When we think about, say, the Greek words for love and the different kinds of love, we start with, say, agape love. Now, agape love, again, it's the noun, but the verb is agapo, which really means agape love is what we just said. Now, it's a sacrificial love. It's a choice. It's a commitment. That's what it is. And so you choose to do something even when you don't feel it. That's the most important part. I would say that's the most important part of that love as a verb. It's what we choose to do, not based on sentiment.
Okay.
But it's what I choose to do. It's
So
the
like
commitment.
when I cook for my family, like my kids.
Well, we're going to get back to that one now.
Okay.
I'm going to explain
Okay.
that now. Now, so we have agape. That's the first part, which is what we really want to focus on today. The second Greek word is what is called phileó, right? Now, phileó is what we would call friendly love.
Okay.
So, sometimes we feel very affectionate with friends, and we say, oh, we love each other so much. But what we're expressing is phileó. It's not romantic, but it's because the focus is that it's a kind of loving relationship, but it's an affection, but it's a friendship thing.
Yes.
So that's phileó. Then we have what we call storgē. Now, storgē is basically what you just described, family.
Okay.
Storgē is often what is described between parents, what is described between their children.
Okay.
Because you love, and that's why you say you're gonna make a meal or whatever, because your children and you love your children. It's kind of like the storgē love. But then there's a final one, which is not necessarily in the Bible, but it's a concept. It's called Éros, and you can already hear.
Yeah.
That's where we get erotic from.
Okay.
Right. So Éros is what we now call, as the viewers will know, passion.
Yeah, I was about to say passion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you see,
burning desire.
that's exactly it. So
Yeah.
notice how agape, the first one, is something we do for someone else.
Yeah.
Right? It's not focused on us.
Yeah.
It's the sacrifice. It's the
Yeah.
commitment I've made. It's the
Yeah.
choice that I make. It's not sentiment.
I like that.
I'm doing that for someone else.
Yeah.
In this, if it's a marriage, it's for my partner.
Yeah.
I'm choosing this,
Yeah.
whether I feel it or not.
Yeah.
Notice there the affection up and down, but
Yeah.
I'm saying whether I'm doing this
Yeah.
because that's agapo.
Yeah.
That's me doing something.
Yeah.
That's I'm loving you. But Eros is obviously
It serves me.
it serves me. Exactly, it's the opposite.
Oh my
Eros
word.
is to
Yeah.
say, okay,
I'll fulfill my passion.
yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
gonna come in Eros and say, okay, it's our thing now.
Yeah.
You can fulfill yourself, I can fulfill myself. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's a concept. It's
Yeah.
not necessarily in the Bible, but it's an important concept.
Yeah.
So when we think about these things, then you begin to understand, wow, these four different concepts, they're so important. And as when we use the scriptures, it's very easy to explain it. For example, when we think about, say, for example, God so loved the world,
Yeah.
John 3, verse 16, then we understand love as an action.
Yes.
Notice, God so loved the world that he gave.
Yes.
You see the action?
He gave.
That's agape
Yeah.
love. That's
Yeah.
the love of God. God so loved the world. When we think about, say, for example, what we say about friendly love,
Yeah.
phileó, then we can think of, say, Paul's words in maybe Romans 12, where he says we must love each other with brotherly love.
Yeah.
You see the difference there.
Yeah.
So the first one, agape, and that's why if we talk about love, especially in marriage, we talk about love that is self-sacrificing. It's a giving love. It's done for the other person.
That's beautiful.
There's no self-interest
Yeah.
because
And many times it's about us.
yeah,
Many times when I argue with my husband, it's always like, but you're not doing this for me.
exactly.
But you're not doing that for me. You're not
Exactly.
understanding me. But it's actually not what's the word? Agape.
Agape.
I need to write it down for you guys, all the spelling, because my uncle's giving us Greek here. We're gonna, after this episode, we're gonna speak Greek, my friends.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
Because, and it's important to realize this, and we've never been taught this. I think, but once we understand, especially from the Bible, these concepts, we start realizing that if I'm loving someone and I'm committed to someone, I'm doing it because it's not in my interest. I'm just because my interest is for their well-being. That's sacrificial love.
But that's insane. To
And-
really understand the definition.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the others, as we said, friendship is friendship.
Yeah.
You got your family stuff and so forth.
Yeah.
The passion, the compassion we feel for one another as family members. But of course, the last one is, and nothing wrong with it, the Éros love is to say